Blessings and peace, City Church, San Francisco. This is our first beloved week of 6, leaning into walking an unhurried human movement as spiritual practice, as soulful practice. My name is Jonathan Stalls with Intrinsic Paths. I identify as LGBTQIA+, and I'm walking in a large local park here in Denver, Colorado. Also lands of Arapaho, Cheyenne, and Navajo. And so I'm grateful to be with you. This week's theme is rooted into the beloved self, protecting more time, intentional time. Key word, intentional time, to be unhurried. If you were in our call this week or our video this last week, which was the first week of Lent, I shared a lot of things related to being unhurried, extra attentive, extra open, extra available. And so really this week's theme is just that. There's no rules, it's not linear, but it's this unhurried commitment to protect 15 minutes. Maybe it's just a couple loops slowly around a tree or a park. Maybe it's 2 or 3 hours in a day, and you're just allowing yourself to stretch out over time by foot while moving. And when I say stretch out, I mean stretch out the thoughts, stretch out the heart and the emotions, stretch out the things that are heavy and stressful, stretch out your dreams while you're on the walk, that you're allowing them to move into the ether. You're not trying to solve anything, fix anything, but you're also not suppressing and burying and blocking. That's one of the invitations I love with this one specifically, is that when we move. I love, if you've heard of EMDR treatment, or if you've heard of what happens in hypnosis, but when we slowly move, we are slowly scanning our environment left to right. And when this happens, we actually physiologically release things within our brain, things that we store in all kinds of places in our body, and they start to more naturally and holistically come to the surface, so we can honor them, tend to them, select them, listen to them, see them. And so I invite you to protect, again, if it's just 15 minutes, couple blocks around your home, apartment, wherever you live, where you're just breathing deeply and slowly moving with all that is, with all that's within you, with all that's around you, with the big and wondrous sky, with the big and wondrous galaxy that's inside of you, with spirit, with God, with creation, that you're protecting this time to just be in unhurried movement. And in our call, we had a call this week where it was almost like a kind of a summary course of sorts. And we talked about movement forward, so that you're also honoring movement forward, creativity. You're making more room, as I said earlier, to stretch out all the things. I want to really be intentional about permissions related to just letting this be as slow, as unhurried, as comfortable as it needs to be for you. Make it yours. It doesn't have to be outside, although I highly recommend it if it can happen. But it can be slowly pacing inside of your apartment. This is all inclusive to moving on a wheelchair or a powered stroller. So it's just unhurried time, protecting time for it. I also encourage, if you're with the family or if you have kids, that you're just inviting, and it doesn't have to, again, there's no rules, there's no lines, but you're just protecting time to be unhurried with children. One of the things, I'm going to share several additional practices in a PDF with this post, and I'll also be offering a guided meditation. But even just a walk where you pause and have your kids or just your family put your hand on your heart. And so we're moving, and then we pause and we put our hand on our heart to just honor what's going on the inside, what's really going on the inside. We don't need to speak it all the time, but we can practice honoring it and being with it and tending to it. So many more permissions, ideas. Again, I'm going to share additional practices with this that you can take with you. I also organize a lot of my walking programming, and if you want to get deeper related to that in your own life, I use Patreon as a way to flow and move more intentionally alongside my art and my creative work, so feel invited to be a part of that. And just more than anything, protect time for the beloved self. I'll leave us with a part of a quote that is so dear to me in this work and in this time. It's by a Buddhist engaged contemplative, Thich Nhat, and it's the last part of his reading. It's called "Kiss the Earth with Your Feet." And then the last part is, "The earth will be safe when we feel safe in ourselves." Kiss the earth with your feet. The earth will be safe when we feel safe in ourselves. Blessings and peace.